What's going on, guys? So, welcome to our second video, and the question today is, what is the best rep range for muscle growth? Now, I'm just going to go off right off the bat and say there's no best rep range for building muscle. Okay, now there is something we call the hypertrophy continuum, and what this is it's a metric that we use to gauge the stimulus or effect that we're looking for based on the amount of reps that we're doing. And what these do is the effect you're looking for, which is in this case muscle growth, it falls under different categories. Okay. What I'll do is I'll find a photo and I'll leave it in. I'll post it on the page for you to have a little look at. And basically, what it is basically 1 to 3 reps. That's where you focus on solely on neuromuscular strength. Okay, this is where you're powering up the nerves. You're not necessarily building muscle. Okay, then between 3, in my opinion, 6 reps. This is where you are focusing on what is known as maximal strength, or what some other people would describe as myofibril hypertrophy. And this is where you build a little bit of muscle, but it's more so about racking them numbers up and you're building up your overall volume through the strength levels that you develop. Okay, now from 6 to 12 reps, this is where we're going into our more sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscle growth. Okay, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy based stimulus. Okay, so in more English terms, this basically means the pump. Okay, where you develop that pump and you start to feel and look on the aesthetic side a lot more bigger and stronger and fuller. Now, here's the catch. When it comes to myofibril hypertrophy, what is actually happening is, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is the fluid within the muscles is known as sarcoplasmic fluid. If it fills up, so that's growing the fluid within the muscle, so it appears bigger, but the actual muscle belly itself, the actual myofiber itself, is growing in the strength area. You with me? So there's just something to consider. Okay, so there's myofibril hypertrophy, which is muscle fiber hypertrophy, and then there is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, most of you who have clicked on this link, clicked on this thumbnail video, use of went, I want to get bigger. If this is the case, you're leaning more towards the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, you're not actually getting bigger, but you are looking bigger, which is literally what you want. Okay? If you focus more on strength, then we can look at that in another video. But in this case, it's more about the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It makes you look better in the mirror, better in front of girls or lads or whatever it may be, and whatever sex you're interested in. And yeah, you'll look great for it. Now, with regards to this, we've got, when we're talking about sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, usually it's between, we'll say 6 to 12 reps, but really it's 8 to 12 reps. Now, what happens during this period is in order to build muscle, you need 3 things. You need mechanical tension, which is more dominant in the lower rep ranges. Then you need metabolic stress, which is more dominant in the higher rep ranges. And then you need muscle damage, which is a little bit more complex than I'd like to disclose in this video, but it's more so about joint angles and getting a nice stretch on the muscle, a nice squeeze and things like this to really give the muscle the degree of damage it needs, basically, yeah. Now, with regards to this, you can do 8 to 12 reps of a lightweight and you will not build muscle. And the reason for this is because you're not going what is known as close to failure. Okay. Now, what is failure? Failure is where you're on them last few reps and you're like, you'll see it on my Instagram page, on my YouTube page. You'll see me pushing for life. Yeah. Like a pregnant lady about to have a baby. It's so crazy. Yeah. You got to push or you pull. When you really going to absolute failure, you're like, how many reps left? I can't wait till the set finishes. When you feel like discomfort, the pain in the muscles, and like your muscles are starting to slow down or maybe even grind to a halt, this is where you're reaching close to failure. Now, a little tip, a little side tip for you is if you want to hit failure more often, get a spot. Get a spot and always aim to be getting stronger. Now, they're the two little extra tips that you will definitely need regardless of your rep range. But in this case, what I will say is for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy to look bigger, to look like your muscles are actually growing, which they do to an extent, but not to the degree that you probably expect them. 8 to 12 reps. 8 to 12 reps. 6 to 8 reps is sufficient, but that is more towards the strength side of things. So you'll build muscle and you will look bigger, but you'll also get stronger as well. Me personally, my preference is to go between 4 to 8 reps. And this is just because for me, I was always a boxer, an athlete. And one of my philosophies is it's okay looking good, but what is the point of looking good if you can't defend yourself? You can't use it. You can't use the muscle. Yeah? Of course, we want to look better so we can sleep with people or whatever it may be that you're interested in. Yeah? But in the same breath, if two big guys who are much bigger than you come over, start trying to kick off, and all you've got is just fluid in your muscle, they can see right through you. And you can see right through because you know you're muscle bound. Like, got no. Yeah? So, yeah, there we go. My advice in this case is 8 to 12 reps. And if you're looking more for strength on those side of things, we go lower in the rep ranges. Okay? That regardless of what program you're trying to follow, focus on sticking to the same rep range within that program. Okay? So if you're training to build muscle hypertrophy, and you want to go with 8 to 12 reps, put that throughout your whole program. If on your finish you want to go a little bit higher in rep range, then great. If you want to have a top set at the beginning with your primary exercises, then go for it. Maybe you expect a few less reps. But the key is try and stay within the same bracket because that's the effect you're looking for. Think about juice. Okay? I've got pure orange in one cup and I've got cordial in the other. Which one's going to taste more strong of orange? It's the pure orange, of course. Why is that? Because it's one thing, not diluted with other factors, such as water in this case, or different rep ranges, different training effects. Don't try and train for more than one training effect at once. If you're focusing on muscle growth, focus on muscle growth alone and stick with that. Okay? Then in your next mesocycle, as it's called, then you'll go into maybe strength. And then from there, you'll use that strength and start increasing the reps at the same level of weight and go through that. Okay? But ultimately, for muscle growth, again, just to summarize, you need to achieve progressive overload through mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. This will be done based on the rep range you choose, will be based on hypertrophy continuum. And towards the end of that, if you wanted to add a little bit of extra volume here and there, then you can do. But always stick to one degree of stimulus within each mesocycle up training program that you're going to do for maybe say 4, 6, or maybe 8 weeks. Okay, and again, lastly but not leastly, always train to failure. Okay, always train to failure. That's the most important thing. If you're training to failure, it means you're progressing. Okay. So guys, look, I'm going to leave it there. My name is Matthew Davis. Welcome to Winners Only. Thanks for watching. Sorry. Now, if you want my free ebook, it is the 38 Laws of Power. I've recently written it. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. That is www.winnersonlyfitness.com/laws. That is www.winnersonlyfitness.com/laws. So guys, it's full of tips just like this. If you enjoy it, be sure to let us know in the comments, and I will see you soon.